Hey YouTube. In this video, I want to talk about why audacious goals are more useful than ambiguous goals. And this is based on an experience I had at Malcolm Ocean's Goal Crafting Intensive, which is a 4 hour long workshop around goal setting, execution, and all that kind of stuff around general goaly stuff. Awesome, highly recommend it. And what I had was, I got to a point where I had about 6 or 7 goals, and I realized they were a little bit ambiguous. But I really understood this when I did an exercise called the theory of change reverse look. So this means, okay, let's say my goal is something along the lines of, and I actually have the one I had here, transform the world of Alexander technique from something niche, little known, and poorly understood into something that is legible, desirable, and accessible. Sounds great, you might think. And then the question in the theory of change section asks, can I do this tomorrow? Yes, no, no. What would need to happen for me to be able to do this tomorrow? Now, of course, what I just described isn't something that I can do. There's no day in which, oh, look, I've done it. I've made Alexander technique legible, and it's really intangible and vague and woolly and whatever. So what I did was replace that with, or by adding an element that said, by having 1 million students, right? So one day there could be a time when I hit launch on a product that tips my total student community into the 1 million plus number. Now that is a huge number, it's really far away, and yet it's still more useful as an orienting mechanism than the highly vague make Alexander technique legible and desirable and blah, blah, blah. And this just got me thinking that actually, yeah, having a super audacious and seemingly ridiculous, yet clearly achievable, as in it is a thing that can be achieved, on paper at least, thing, is much more useful as an orienting device than something that doesn't have that characteristic to it. So this actually relates to something I think about in AT, which is intention, which is kind of like imagining or asserting that the world is a certain kind of way, universally, accepting that simulated thing as true, and then just making it happen, allowing it to happen. Whereas if you are uncertain or vague in your intention, then your system seems not to be able to calibrate in a way that's useful around that, so you don't know exactly which way to go. So with the 1 million students thing, even though there's a huge number of steps to get there, there are a number of steps to get there. So I might have to go, well, I need a marketing department, I need a company, I need distribution channels, I need to have customer archetypes, I need all these things, which all of those have sub-things and those have sub-things, but there is a linear link between thing to thing to thing. And there isn't that when it's ambiguous. So knowing clearly I am going that way, or I'm orienting myself to go that way, even if that way is really far away, and even if I expect to update my sense of where that is when I get there, is still more useful than I want to go, I don't even know what that world looks like, right? I don't know what the success criteria are for that. I don't know what I need to do. What actions can I take? I mean, this needs to be broken down into things that the world will look a particular way once my goal is met, right? That will then drive my current action. So it's a very small point, but it was actually quite a big shift for me to realize, can I do this tomorrow? If that question doesn't make sense, if there's no point at which you can do something to attain the goal, then the goal is bad because it's not a useful orienting device. It might be a sustaining goal of, well, stay healthy and happy and fit and that kind of thing. Well, that's fine. But again, what does that really look like? What are the actions? So it might be, okay, in 20 years, I weigh the same as I do now. I have this much muscle. I have this much body fat. I'm able to participate in certain events and activities, that kind of thing. I haven't gone to the hospital for these kinds of maladies that might occur as I age. These are things that I can orient towards myself towards, and then think, okay, what do I have to do for that to be true, for that world to exist? So it's very much simulate what the world would look like, and have that as a thing that the world can actually look like, and then make choices based on that. So it's very warm where I am. It's very bright by this window. I'm uncomfortable. So this was a rambly one, but I wanted to make a video. So thank you for watching, and see you next time.